Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to grow and care for the Echeveria plants. Echeveria is a genus of about 150 species of succulent plants in the family Carusalanaceae, native to semi-desert region of Central America, South America and Mexico. Echeverias have been extensively hybrided, so in addition to the main species, there are hundreds of cultivators and hybrids offering a wide range of colors, size and leaf shapes. They usually produce stunning flowers. Echeveria are one of the most popular succulent plants thanks to its charming rosettes with gorgeous water-storing leaves. Some plants can grow to the size of a dinner plate, and their pearlescent tone make them a stunning focal point for pot arrangement, rock gardens, favors, decors, and much more. Echeverias are polycarpic, which means they can produce flowers multiple times. Often numerous offsets are produced. They are commonly known as hen and chicks, which can also refer to sempervivum, which is significantly different from Echeveria. In the winter, many Echeveria lose their leaves, although not all. The generic name Echeveria honors the 18th century Mexican botanical artist Atanasio Echeverría y Godoy. Now, before we talk about the best soil, light, watering, temperature, everything, we're going to talk a little bit about where you should plant your Echeverias. Echeverias thrive in a well-draining soil. Although described as tender, they are pretty tough. They can tolerate cold, but cannot cope with wet and cold. So, plants should be moved to a frost-free place over the winter. A south-facing, sandy, slightly acid soil is ideal. Echeverias do not need that much room for the roots and can cope in small pots and even small cracks in paving. But how to plant the Echeveria? If planting in a rich, water-retentive soil, improve the drainage by taking in plenty of horticultural grit. It might be easier to plant Echeveria in a pot in compost that has plenty of grit added. Choose an unglazed pot with a generous draining holes on the bottom. Only water in newly planted Echeveria if the soil is very dry. Now, Echeverias have some problems. Some of these plants are trouble-free if you keep them on the dry side. However, mealybugs can cause problems if plants are grown as houseplants. These plant-sucking pests appear as a small white spots on the leaves. They look like cotton wool. If you spot mealybugs, isolate the plant from other houseplants, wipe the foliage, remove the mealybugs, and in extreme cases, dispose of the plant or turn to insecticides. When caring for the Echeveria, it is essential that the plant is not overwatered. If they are left growing in a wet soil, the roots will quickly rot. After watering, allow the soil to dry out before watering again. Now let's talk a little bit about the ideal soil for the Echeveria. Echeveria make ideal for pot plants, but will also thrive in the ground. They need potting soil mix that drains quickly. Most growers use their own well-draining succulent soil mix. However, commercial cactus and succulent potted soil can also work well. The ideal lighting type is full sun to partial shade. However, try to avoid drastic sunlight changes and full afternoon sun, especially in summer. If you're moving your Echeverias outside in the springs, do it gradually. The intense afternoon sun can cause sunburns. During the winter, when your succulents are inside, put them near the brightest window in your home. They will stretch, and if they do not have enough sunlight, they will wither. When we talk about temperature, it should be said that Echeveria is a tender succulent. Many will tolerate several degrees below freezing, but do not grow in them in the ground if they are subjected to harsh condition. You can keep your Echeveria healthy during the winter by moving them indoors. Once the threat of frost is over, move your plant back outside in the spring. Most Echeveria are cold hardy down to the USDA hardiness zone 9A, that is 20 degrees Fahrenheit or 6.7 degrees Celsius. Now, let's move on to pot size. The ideal size of a pot for succulents is about 5 to 10% bigger than the size of the plant at the surface. An Echeveria of around 4 inches or 10 centimeters in diameter would fit in a pot that's about 4.5 inches or 11 centimeter in a diameter, or just slightly bigger than the rosette. Now let's move on for the general care. Most people ask us how to water the Echeveria. But when and how to water is a crucial part of Echeveria care. They do not like to be kept too wet, but they also do not like to be kept too dry. Wrinkled leaves indicate that the plant needs more water. Provide moderate amounts of water from spring to fall. The soak and dry method is preferred. Schedule for watering Echeveria. Let the soil dry out before you water again. If you have a saucer under the pot, make sure that after a short time that the water is empty. When you water your Echeveria, water the soil, not the rosettes. Fertilizing. Echeverias grow well without fertilizers, but many may benefit from the extra nutrients. Use a slow-release fertilizer in the spring or a liquid fertilizer, diluted 2 to 4 times more than usual, and use less often than recommended. Remember that it's easier to over-fertilize Echeveria than under-fertilize. When you repot the plant, you're going to want to do so early spring or early summer. To repot the Echeveria, make sure the soil is dry before repotting. Take your plant out of its current pot and knock off the old soil from the roots. Place the plant in a new pot with fresh potting soil. Wait at least 1 week before watering your Echeveria again to reduce the risk of root rot. Now, pruning. Echeveria is self-pruning. All you may need to do is to pick up the dead leaves or flower. Picking out the dead leaves prevent rot or diseases taking over the plant. And when you propagate the Echeveria, one of the easiest ways to do so is from offsets or leaves, but they can also be grown from stem cuttings or seeds. These succulents often self-propagate through offsets, nested against the mother rosette. They are easy to separate and grow. Just pull the little rosette away and replant it in the potting soil. Leaves, most Echeverias, can easily be grown from leaf cuttings. To propagate a leaf cutting, gently twist the leaf from the stem, allow the leaf to callus over a few days before placing it in a well-draining soil. Always take at least 2 leaves, because not every leaf you try to propagate will grow a new plant. Stem cuttings is another easy way to propagate Echeverias. But this is not a common method for plants with rosette that grow low to the ground. When growing Echeverias from seed, one of the most important things is the quality of the seed. The fresher the seed, the more likely it is to germinate. The best time to sow the seed is in the spring or summer. They usually start to germinate after 2 to 3 weeks. Seedlings can take 18 months to 3 years to mature. Echeverias are safe around pets and humans, although it is not advisable to eat them.